हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आज हम लोग फिर से नया वीडियो के साथ कुछ नया चीज समझेंगे। लास्ट दो वीडियो में, एक वीडियो में मैं बात किया था बंगाली में, एक में हिंदी में। सो व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू डू टुडे इज वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक in English, or we are going to learn in English language. All right. So no one is going to be getting perturbed regarding whatever I'm going to teach. So what we have done in the last lecture, the total respiratory passage and the organs involved in that respiratory system. So I'll give you a synopsis of what we have done in the last class. Just the synopsis of it. All right. So we'll start with the synopsis. The first part of the synopsis, you remember the air inlet that we are talking about, oxygen inlet that we are talking about from the atmosphere. It goes in via external air, then it goes inside the nasal chamber or the nasal cavity. This nasal chamber or the nasal cavity is divided into how many parts did I say? 3 parts. What are those? If you can remember, what are those parts? Called as. What is the first part called as? The vestibular part. The next part is respiratory part. And the third one is called as the olfactory part. Now from the olfactory part of nasal chamber, the air goes inside the pharynx. What is the first part of the pharynx? The first part of the pharynx is the nasopharynx. Okay. Now from the nasopharynx, it will go down to the laryngopharynx. From the laryngopharynx, it goes down via the glottis, inside the trachea, From the trachea divides to become the bronchi. Do you remember? At what level? T5 level. T5 level at the thoracic. I told you from the thoracic vertebra and the T5 vertebra, it divides to become what? The bronchi. The bronchi. And this bronchi is again divided into 3 parts: primary, secondary, and the tertiary. So where it will go? First, it will go in the primary bronchi, then it goes to the secondary bronchi, and then to tertiary bronchi. From the tertiary bronchi, where does it go? From the tertiary bronchi, it goes to the bronchioles. And again, this bronchioles is going to be divided into some part. And what are those? If you can remember, or did I told you this thing or not? I don't remember okay, whether I told this thing or not, because the bronchioles again divides to become the initial bronchiole, the terminal bronchiole, and the respiratory bronchiole. So this bronchiole again divides to become what? Tell me. It becomes what? It becomes the initial bronchiole, the terminal bronchiole, and the what? Respiratory bronchiole. So again, if we come, this bronchiole divides to become initial bronchiole, the terminal bronchiole, and then the respiratory bronchiole. The respiratory bronchiole. Again, from the respiratory bronchiole, it goes where? Can you tell me? Where does it go? From the respiratory bronchiole, it will go towards the alveoli. It will go towards the alveoli, but definitely not directly to the alveoli, but via the alveolar duct. So after the respiratory bronchiole, the oxygen will go inside alveolar duct and from the alveolar duct, it will go towards alveoli. From the alveoli, it goes inside or diffuses inside the capillary. So you see from over here, what you can see over here, see this proposition over here. So the oxygen from the atmosphere goes through these all phases, and in your NCERT it is given after the nasal chamber, it is mentioned as the pharynx. It is mentioned as the pharynx. And which part of the pharynx are we going to consider ourselves? Nasopharynx and then the laryngopharynx, right? So this is the pathway how the oxygen reaches the capillary. So if I reverse this process, if I totally reverse this process, it will be the movement of carbon dioxide towards the atmosphere. So when you consider this, the capillary received the oxygen. Over here, the capillary has got the oxygen, right? Now, the carbon dioxide from the capillary reverses back. From the capillary, it will come towards the alveoli. From the alveoli, it goes towards the alveolar duct. From the alveolar duct, it goes towards the respiratory bronchiole. From the respiratory bronchiole, it goes towards the terminal bronchiole. From the terminal bronchiole, it goes towards the initial bronchiole. From the initial bronchioles, it will go to what? From the initial bronchiole, it will go towards the bronchi. I'm extremely sorry. It will go towards the tertiary bronchi, then secondary bronchi, from here to the primary bronchi, and then from the primary bronchi it goes towards the trachea. From trachea it goes to laryngopharynx, then to nasopharynx, then towards the olfactory nasal chamber, respiratory nasal chamber, vestibular nasal chamber. From this vestibular nasal chamber, the air is going to be breathed out to the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide outlet. So from this synoptic diagram, you can clearly understand the oxygen inlet and carbon dioxide outlet from the external layer till capillary, and from the capillary through the external layer, the expiration of carbon dioxide and the inspiration of oxygen from the external layer to the capillary. Hope you have understood this thing, the synoptic pathway of all the organs and the whole mechanism, how this oxygen in and out takes place. And I hope you totally understood this thing. Now we are going to understand what are the different organs associated with it, how much air is taken in, how much air stays in the conducting passage, how much air is actually going into the respiratory passage. We will go to understand each and every subtopics of this mechanism. Hopefully you have understood this thing, and you please take the snap of it if it is required. Thank you.